YouTube, how are we? How is things? So I thought, do you know what? Obviously, I put up the post on my Instagram. If you've not seen it, I'll just go over it. I was meant to be competing next year, PCA Scotland, and then I decided to pull out. Basically, I'm not doing it. Now I'm just kind of going into a wee bit more detail to reason the why. I mean, people watching this probably won't really care, but for the people who might care a little bit, I'll go into a little bit more kind of detail. One, when I did decide to compete and I did decide to sign up for the show for next year, I was in the right frame of mind. I was wanting to do it. Initially, we were just coming off the back of a push-up phase where I was in an off-season. It was a relatively long off-season. It was only really about 16 weeks or something. We're trying to bring up my back, more thickness. Then I was kind of going on holiday and we thought, you know what, well, I basically couldn't eat any more food, right? I was at 5,500 calories and I was struggling big time. So we pushed on for another couple of weeks and then I knew I had Benidorm coming up in August. And I just basically said to my coach, look, I'm going to need to start bringing food down. Like I can't fucking do it anymore. So we decided to start bringing food down. Everything was going well. Then I obviously booked a photo shoot, which was just a couple of weeks ago in November. Well, now in December, by the way, just in case anybody doesn't know that. And I was like, right, we'll do the photo shoot. We'll bring off a bit of fat. We'll make it a wee bit easy because we know we've got the prep coming up. And we've obviously got the competition. So it was like a kind of pre-prep diet, if you like. Initially, I wanted to get a bit leaner than what I was. But at the end of the day, I was still lean enough for a photo shoot, even though there is no such thing as photo shoot lean. But the whole idea was to bring off a bit of fat, see how I looked. That was initially the plan. Obviously, everybody was telling me, like, you'll definitely get bigger, things are changing. I still wasn't happy with my back. That was still playing on my mind. I wasn't happy with it. And then I kind of had to sit and I had to look at the business, Nova Fitness. And it's like, it's not where we want it to be right now. It's still in its first year, as in me full-time and Holly full-time. I became full-time in January this year, 2024. Holly was around about February, March maybe. She went full-time. And we've done exceptionally well, to be fair, but it's still not where we want it to be. Then one of my clients decided that he's definitely going to compete next year, so he signed up for a competition. That competition would have took place the week before mine. I was also considering doing that competition, but it would have been a different category. And then I'm like, Theo. And then I'm like, it's hard enough prepping being in prep yourself. From the last competition that I done, it took my soul, like really changed me in terms of during that time. I wasn't any fun to be around. It was hard to function at a certain stage at the later end. I didn't even want to go to work. At that time, I was working in construction. I was drained, physically drained. Anybody who's ever done a prep where it doesn't need to be a bodybuilding, well, bodybuilding is kind of the extreme version, right? Even if it's like a photo shoot or something, there's going to be people who are going to know what I'm talking about here, right? You need to have tunnel vision. Well, certainly I did. My only focus was getting up, and all I thought about was going on stage. That was what I thought about. That's what I wanted. That's what I need to. That's what I'm doing, and I don't care if anything gets in my way. I stopped going for coffees with my mum and stuff because I was dead nippy sometimes. I was dead agitated. Just down to the kind of low food and low calories. And I know I was snapping at Holly sometimes, probably quite a lot. And it wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun at all. But at the end of the day, it was my decision. I wanted to do it, and I was doing it no matter what. So I've done it. I feel absolutely great. The best feeling I've ever had, like that I can remember. To be fair, The adrenaline, everything, the buzz that I got was like no other buzz that I've ever had in my life. So the whole idea was I wanted to sign up for another competition. I wanted to win, right? That was it. At that time I signed up, I was wanting to win. And now, obviously, as things have went on, the months has went on, things have come up. Obviously, I'm going, I don't want to jeopardise anything to do with my client's result, never mind my own result, because how can I give myself 100% focus when I need to give my client 100% focus? Something is going to need to give. Do you know what I mean? And then there's business, like that needs my attention right now in terms of content. Thinking about stuff. When you're in a deep prep, like the last thing you'll want to do is sit on camera and talk to the camera. Last thing you're going to want to do is think of content because your brain's just mush. And I'm going to myself, what is the benefit out of this that I'm going to get? Would I get more clients? Potentially. It'd be good for business. I would look exceptionally lean. It'd be a really good transformation again for myself. But then there's the other aspects of it. It's like, could it potentially damage my business? Could I potentially lose clients? Because, and I understand Holly's obviously doing this with us as well, and we're both in with each client. Holly could probably take a little bit more, but at the same time, it's not fair on her. For me to ask her to take on a little bit more pressure, whether I sit back and I prep. So I've been on stage, I've done it. I've wore the pants, if you like. And by the way, I went out and I bought new posing trunks and everything, like, and they're no cheap. So it wasn't the fact that, some people might think, oh, he shat it or whatever. And to be honest with you, I couldn't care what anybody thought. Because at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing in the back of my mind and I know it's the right thing. Because when I decided not to compete and I initially, I'm not competing, I said it to my coach, I didn't feel any fucking different. I felt a wee bit of relief, to be fair. We've got a lot coming up over these next couple of months. We've got a lot of work behind the scenes that we've been doing in terms of launching stuff and things that are going to be coming up over these next few weeks. And it's all to try and boost the business. It's all to try and help the clients. There's a lot of things that we need to work on, which I've probably, man enough to admit, I've probably been putting that aside a little bit because I've been focusing on this prep. And what I mean by that is that when I'm fully in something, like, and I need to train like 5 days a week or whatever, I will train there 5 days a week. And that's just the way I'm programmed when I'm committed to something. Now I've got that opportunity where I don't need to go to the gym a day. I'm going to finish what I'm going to do in the business. Do you know what I mean? The difference that is, to some people that might not mean a much, or might not mean a lot. And I know a lot of people that don't understand when it comes to coaching or PTing, and they just see us in the gym floor and they think, oh, that's all we do all day. I did think that. That's not the way it goes. That's not the way it is. There's a lot of other things that go on behind the scenes in the computer and stuff like that, especially when you're an online coach as well. You've got online clients that you need to take care of. Content you need to think of. There's a lot more in the background in terms of spreadsheets and stuff that we need to do with the business. We need tax, man. We need to pay that. We need to do this, and we need to do a lot, right? And I'm like, I'm not willing to jeopardise anything right now. It could potentially harm the business. And it's like, my coach made a good point. He's like, anybody that I'm going up against is giving it 100%. They're going to bring their best package that they can to that stage. If I'm 40% on business, like 30% on clients and 30% on my own prep, I'm not going to bring my best package to the stage. That's a fact. Because my mind's not being 100% in it. And if you're going to compete, your mind needs to be 100% in it. Unfortunately, that's the path you've chose. Now, it's a good path for that period of time, because it's not going to be a path that you're going to be on for fucking life. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got 16, 20, like 22 weeks, 24 weeks, whatever it may be for prep. The first few weeks won't be that bad, it won't be that hard, but then you need to start digging. And it's when you need to start digging, when your calories are low, your output's quite high, everything's becoming, energy's getting zapped, you're at work, and you need to remember as well, you're at work as well, so that takes a lot of mentally. So there's a lot going on that I'm just like, I know I can't give it all. So it's the right decision for me to decide not to compete. But I will be 100% there with my client. Of course I will. And I'm going to do my utmost to make sure that he gets the best result possible that he can. I know he's willing to put the work in, so it's going to be very, very exciting for him. And bodybuilding's always going to be there for me if I ever decide that I want to do it again. That's it. So, I know some of you are thinking, well, what are you going to do next? Well, I don't know if some of you know. If you don't know, I'll tell you. Start of the year, me and Holly done a Hyrox. Didn't know what fucking Hyrox was. Only gave myself nine weeks to prep for it. Obviously, a guy my size, quite muscular, obviously. Found it very hard to run. Even though my younger ages, I used to be able to run no bother. Obviously changed a bit slightly since then. So I'm not saying I'm going to do a Hyrox, right? That's not the path I'm saying. But at the end of the day, I'm 34 next year. This has been something that's been playing on my mind for quite a while. For anybody that knows me with bodybuilding, like I do not hide the fact that I take supplements, performance enhancing, if that's what you want to call them. And it's not fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? It's obviously not the most healthiest of things, right? And I know there's worse things out there that you could be taking, right? So Nissan just come on and start giving me your patter, because there's worse things out there you could be taking. And plus I'm taking them in the right way, in the healthiest way possible that I can, right? But that's not the point. At the end of the day is, I don't really do a lot of training in terms of cardiovascular, in terms of heart health, which getting to my age as if I'm pure old and stuff, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not getting any younger. So it'd be very, very wise to start kind of building up some sort of cardiovascular, fitness, which is going to be the plan. So I'm not going to be particularly training for anything. I'm just going to be training for me. I'm going to be building my body. I'm going to be getting my body as fit as possible that I can. It's going to be hard. It's going to kill me. It's going to take the arse right off me, right? I know that. I know that fine well for training for Hyrox. So it's going to be a kind of similar functional body weight stuff. Probably a bit of ski rigging stuff like that in it. And then maybe eventually next year, sometime, in the first quarter of next year, I'll maybe add in a wee bit of running and try and get a wee bit of running again, to try and build up. As much as I don't really like running, it means that maybe further down the line that maybe me and Holly would do another Hyrox together, and obviously I'd be a lot more trained for it. We could probably get a much better time. And it'd be interesting to see that, because we didn't, obviously, with me, we didn't give it the best opportunity that we possibly could, because we didn't give ourselves enough time to prep for it. Holly was fine, but with me being obviously totally different, it probably would have took me a lot longer to get ready for it. So if it does happen, it'd be good. I might even do a solo just to see what it's like doing it myself. Who knows? But that's probably the more route that I'm kind of going down the now. I'm still going to be doing my resistance training. That's not going to go away, because I still like being in the gym. I still like training. But in terms of bodybuilding, I'm not going to be doing a push-up season or, then dieting down, doing money cuts and stuff like that. Like, I've spent a lot of time and a lot of my life doing this. Maybe not as strict as what I have been over the past maybe 6-7 years, but I've definitely been there. I've been training since I've been 19, 20, so I've been in about that whole era of, losing weight, getting big, losing weight, getting big. I was just losing weight, getting fat, losing weight, getting fat. That was me. Over years and years and years, because I was still going out and getting mad weight and stuff like that, and doing the shit that you probably shouldn't have been doing. But this is a new direction that I'm going to be taking. So there's probably going to be a bit more kind of uploaded in terms of that on my channel. Me probably doing some sessions and stuff like that, functional. You can laugh at me because I'll be blowing at my arse, probably moaning a bit. But anyway, that's just a wee kind of, just to elaborate on my posting stuff. So I thought I would just fill you in a wee bit more. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and share this video, right? Thanks again, and I'll see you later on, right?